All right, let's talk about one of the toughest truths in all of trading. We're going to dig into the real core reason why so many people who get into this ultimately fail.
It all boils down to this one single number. And honestly, it's a number that probably haunts the dreams of anyone trying to make it in the markets. 90%.
That's right. A staggering 90% of all traders lose money. They jump in with all this hope and excitement, and they end up with an empty account. And the first question that pops into your head is, why? What's going on?
So what is it? Is it because you have to be some kind of genius? You need a PhD or something to figure this stuff out? You'd think so. But the answer is actually a really simple.
No, not at all. Success in trading has almost nothing to do with your IQ. The real reason for that massive failure rate is simpler, but it's also way harder to fix. Most people are just thinking about the markets in a completely broken way.
And that broken mindset? It leads everyone straight into what I call the prediction trap. This is the first and honestly the biggest mistake that almost every new trader makes.
This right here. This is the thought that ruins everything. Most people genuinely believe that their job is to be a fortune teller, to somehow look into a crystal ball and guess exactly what the market's going to do next.
And when you believe that, you start doing all this stuff that feels productive. You're glued to the news. You're hanging on every word from some expert on social media. You get totally obsessed with trying to nail the absolute perfect top or bottom on every single move. It's all just an exhausting game of prediction.
And here it is, the critical difference. The failing trader thinks their job is to predict. The winning trader knows their job is simply to manage risk and follow a system, period. The market isn't a quiz to see who's the smartest, it's a test to see who's the most disciplined.
So how do we know for sure this way of thinking works? Well, it was actually proven decades ago in one of the most famous experiments in trading history. It's what gave us the turtle mindset.
The story is fantastic. This legendary trader, Richard Dennis, he made a bet that he could take a bunch of regular people from all different backgrounds, zero experience, and teach them how to be wildly successful traders. He proved that trading isn't some innate talent, it's a skill. And he didn't start by teaching them complex charts, he started by completely changing how they think.
This was lesson number one, the absolute foundation. You don't know what the market will do, and that's okay. Just let that sink in. The moment you give up needing to know the future is the moment you're actually free to start making money.
So you see, the big shift was this. Their job was not to predict, it was to react. They just had to wait for the market to give them a signal and then act on their rules. No ego, no guessing, just pure execution.
And here's what that looks like in a real situation. Let's say a price is taking off. The beginner is totally emotional, right? Thinking, oh no, I missed it, it's too late. Their feelings are driving the bus. The turtle-trained trader, though, they just ask one simple, unemotional question. Does my system say enter? If it's a yes, they enter. If it's a no, they do nothing. Simple, mechanical, and incredibly effective.
And this gets us right to the real work of trading. It's not about trying to master the market, it's about mastering yourself by focusing only on the things that are actually within your power.
And trust me, this is the hardest part. Our brains are literally wired to want control, to want to be right all the time. So to really truly accept that you have zero control over what a price does next, that's a massive mental hurdle to clear.
Think of it like a ledger. In one column, all the stuff you can't control. The market's direction, a surprise news event, what some guru says online. Wasting energy on that stuff is pointless. But in the other column, that's where you live. You have 100% control over your entry, your exit, your risk, and most importantly, your own discipline. That's where you do the work.
So, let's circle back. Why do most people fail? Because their ego wants to be right more than it wants to make money. They get so terrified of taking a small, manageable loss that they let it turn into a catastrophic one. And the second their emotions flare up, all those rules they made just go right out the window. And that, my friends, is a guaranteed recipe for blowing up your account.
Okay, so let's put this all together into a new game plan for you. It means you have to totally shift your identity. You're no longer a predictor. From now on, you're a system follower.
And let's be real, this mindset is more critical now than ever before. You look at a market like crypto, with its absolutely insane volatility and wild emotional swings, if you don't have a system to keep yourself grounded, that market will control you, 100%.
So this is your new definition of success. You gotta burn this into your brain. Trading success is not the art of prediction. It is the discipline of behavior. It's just about executing your plan over and over without letting fear or greed get in the way.
So here's your mission. It's just 2 steps. Step 1, you have to make a conscious decision right now to stop trying to predict anything. Just let it go. And step 2, you start doing the real work of an engineer, building, testing, and following a system with clear, unbreakable rules.
Which, of course, brings us to the next big question. What does a good system even look like? What kind of rules are we talking about? Well, I gotta ask, are you ready to learn the exact entry rules the legendary turtle traders used?